Good afternoon. Today we're going to be looking at how to add polynomials. It's not that difficult, but you have to be organized in the way you do things. So starting off, we need to use a couple of properties. There's the associative property that allows us to remove brackets, and the commutative property that allows us to reorder the terms. So let's take a look at a couple of examples here. We want to add these polynomials. Right away, there are brackets around them. There's two trinomials being added. We can remove the brackets, nothing changes, right? And then you have to match up the like terms. Now, we can reorder the terms this way, or later on, we'll be just skipping that step. We can put the x and the negative 3x together, the 5y and the 7y together, and the negative 2 and the 7 together to give us the trinomial. In number 2, we have the same idea here. We've got brackets that can be removed. Everything is added, so that's the good part. Nothing changes when you remove the bracket. And now, same deal, we're going to reorder the terms. Watch out for the double sign, by the way. We don't like those. So we'll just change that. A plus and a minus turns to a negative. And then we can put the like terms together, making sure to keep the sign that's on the left of each term. Negative x squared, negative 5x squared, and positive x squared like terms. X and 2x are like terms, and the negative 8 does not have a like term. As I said before, that step will probably not be shown. You'll just do underlining or circling of the terms. So here's a couple. You can pause, and you can try these 3 examples. You can check your answers on the next screen. Pause. Okay, now we can move on to the next screen. Solutions. So right away, we don't have brackets to remove in the first couple of terms, so we just have to reorder them, or, as I said before, we'll just underline the ones that match. So I've got a couple of m terms, put them together. I got a couple of n terms. I'll circle those and put them together. Positive 6, negative 1, and negative 10 gives me the negative 5n. Question B. 2x squared and x squared are going to be, oh, don't forget to put the answer in a box. 2x squared and x squared are going to come together to give you 3x squared. 3x and 2x are like terms, and they're going to give you 5x. Negative 2 and negative 3 are going to give you a negative 5. And you can't go any further with this, so you just got to put a box around the answer. Question C. Removing the brackets. Just as on the previous screen, there's only plus signs between, so nothing changes when I remove the brackets. Then I match them up. Let's take a look at the 3x terms that I have, 2x, positive 9x, and negative x. The y terms, oh, that's going to give you 10x. And then the y terms are going to give you 3y plus 2y plus 8y is plus 13y. Negative 7, negative 5 are going to both give you together negative 12. Nothing more to put together here, just put a box around the answer. Expanding brackets. Now here is when it gets a little more complicated because the distributive property is needed so that we can expand the brackets. You multiply the amount into the bracket, and so the 2 is going to be multiplied by the x and by the negative 3, giving you 2x minus 6. The 5 is going to be multiplied in the second bracket, number 2, times all 3 terms, and it's going to be 5x, negative 5xy, plus 20. We're not going to show that middle step. It's just basically to make you understand why those pieces came together. Notice, by the way, you can't go any further in these answers because there are no like terms. Watch out for the negatives. If you have a negative in front of the bracket, it's going to make all of the terms inside opposite. We use the word, well, I use the word oppositize. If it's positive, it becomes negative. If it's negative, it becomes positive. So let's do it the swooshes. You're multiplying a negative 1 times each of the terms. And you're going to get negative on the 2a and a negative on the negative 5, which is going to bring you to a negative 2a, positive 5. Negative 3, now we're multiplying a number and the negative sign, is going to be multiplied times the w, the negative 2, and the d. negative 3w plus 6 minus 3d. Same as before, we're not going to show that other step, it's just to tell you what we're thinking of. So now we can throw this all together, and this is really what we've been building up to all the time. This is the part where you have to pay very close attention, take your time, and make sure you multiply carefully. We're going to be multiplying in number 1, the 5 into the bracket, and then the negative 2 into the bracket. Don't forget that negative 2 comes as a package. Now we have a couple of like terms we can put together. The 5x and the negative 2x become positive 3x, negative 20 and positive 6 become negative 14. Number 2, be careful here. We're going to multiply a negative x into the bracket. And when you multiply, you can multiply anything at all. You just have to remember they stick together with the glue of multiplication. So when I multiply negative x times the y, I'm going to get negative xy. And when I multiply it with a 7, I'm going to get negative 7x. That's just a little bit beyond what we need to know, but you should be able to handle it. Next, I'm going to multiply the positive 4. I don't need to circle it because it's positive. Don't worry about a negative. 4x minus 12 plus 4xy. Do I have any like terms? Well, I got a couple of xy's kicking around. I got a couple of x's and a single whole number, negative 12. That's the constant term. So, ready to try another one? Here's 4 questions. I want you to try these on your own, all 5 of them, and the answers are going to be on the next screen. So pause and try them out. When you're done, you can move on to, you can continue in the video. So time to pause. Okay, now that the pause is over, let's go to the next screen. We're going to look at these solutions. I'm going to go through quickly. You can just watch all the steps, double check your work, pause when you need to. 2 gets multiplied by both of them. Positive 3 gets multiplied by both of them. 2x minus 10, negative 3x, and positive 21. Like terms, 2x and negative 3x give negative 1x. You don't need to write that one. And negative 10 and positive 21 give the positive 11. Let's go with question B. Negative 4 multiplied by the a and the b, negative 3 by the 2a and the negative b. Watch out for the double negative there. Negative 4a minus 4b, negative 6a, and plus 3b. A couple of like terms on the a's and a couple of like terms on the b's. Watch out, you're using the integer rules of addition when we combine those coefficients. Letter C. No numbers to multiply into the bracket. Be careful about that negative on the second bracket. So it's going to be x minus 2y minus 4x minus y. Negative 4x and x are going to give me negative 3x, and the negative 2y and the negative 1y are going to give me negative 3y. Moving on, a couple more questions and then we're done. 2a minus 3b, nothing happens when I remove that bracket. The negative 4 multiplies by both terms, and that's going to give me negative 4a plus 8b. Notice the double negative makes it positive. And the third bracket, nothing to change there. Add the a terms together, we have the 2a, the 4a, and the 7a. Careful, negative 4a, so that's going to be 9 minus 4 is 5a, and the negative 3b, positive 8b, and positive 9b. I see 17 minus 3 is 14. Last question. The 2 is going to be multiplied by both terms in the bracket. The negative is going to be multiplied by both terms in the bracket. And then the next negative 3 is going to be multiplied by both terms in the bracket. So the first one becomes 6 plus 4x. The next one, negative 5x minus 2. And lastly, negative 3 times the 2 terms is positive 9 minus 3x. Let's group the like terms together. We have a 4x, negative 5x, and a 3x, which is going to give us negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4x, and the 6, negative 2, and the 9 is going to give me 13. So that's what you need to know. Practice, review, watch this video again if it helps. Just make sure you know how to do all of this type of question. And see you next time.